Hey guys, see you next. Monja back here. Got another quick video here for you guys. We got a Series Craftsman lawnmower here for you guys today. We're working on. Customer brought it over here a couple days ago. They were claiming the machine would not start after the machine was running for probably about 5 or 10 minutes after the machine was, got hot. Because right now the temperature outside is about 90. It's about 90, 95 out here today around 12 noon. And they were claiming the machine kept on dying out. It would not start after they had the machine running until it got to the point where it was warm. Typically the guy told me he was using it for about 5, 10, 15 minutes out of his yard. He'd start up, running for about 5 to 10 minutes, and shut it off. And the thing would not start. He pulled and pulled and pulled until he gave himself a shoulder pain out there, and it would not start. So he brought it to us over here, and we asked him when this problem started, and he said it started about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he hasn't wanted to use the machine since that time point, unless he absolutely had to, because he knew the thing would keep on shutting off after a few minutes running. So what we found on here, it looked like somebody might have been fooling with the machine before we actually had time to examine it, and we found on here the exhaust system on here. I'll show you right here. I'm gonna get this thing in a better spot here than I'm gonna show you here. Here's your exhaust system on here with a muffler and everything else attached on here. This exhaust system has the auto choke design on here. Here's the muffler right there from Briggs. And on the back side, you see the auto choke on here. It looks like somebody might have been fooling with the machine, because the auto choke is bent, and that's the way it was whenever we originally took it off the machine. We asked the gentleman who was using it if he loaned the machine out to anybody, or any kind of damage occurred to the machine while it was in his possession. He kept on claiming no. But the problem was whenever we took the engine partially apart on here, we took the shroud and everything else off here to get to the auto choke linkage and stuff like that. And what was happening was the auto choke thing right here, it would not stay back. Typically, whenever your engine is hot, your auto choke arm right here, your control arm right here, your control arm would be pushed all the way forwards like this, because the banjo arm sitting on top of your auto choke on the exhaust side will be pushing on this piece right here, this little piece sticking up right here. It'll push it all the way forwards, and it'll keep the carbs choke in the open position. So we'll show you that here right now. So right now, this is how the choke should be in the closed position when the engine is cold. Let me show you here right there. That's the closed position right now. When your engine heats up after about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on air temperature and stuff like that, your banjo thing will open up like so, and your auto choke mechanism will engage, and it will push the arm all the way forwards on this machine like it is right there for that. So your choke will stay open because the auto choke mechanism is forcing it to stay open, even though it has a spring for the return on here for that. So what we find over here, it needs a new auto choke. So that's what we find. This auto choke right here, it basically includes 2 gaskets on this thing. You have 1 gasket in the front and 1 gasket behind right here for that. So we'll show you what the kit entails right here for that, because I buy about 10 of these on eBay, and they're only about 12 to 15 bucks typically. So here's your Briggs auto choke. Here's the part number. They call it a thermostat. Here's your part number right there for that. I can zoom in here for you. There you go, thermostat 593208. And the Briggs auto choke assembly. That's what we call it right here. So here's what a brand new one looks like for comparison. You get your little pamphlet right there as well too. You can get your 2 gaskets here as well too. So I'm gonna just get it in the sun here better so you can see it. So here's your new one, new auto choke. That's what it looks like right there. Get 2 gaskets. You put 1 in the front, and you put the second one in the back right here, as it is right here. So you have 1 in the front and 1 in the back. So it'll mate up against the air, or the I keep on calling it the air blocks, the we'll call muffler assembly right here for that. So this is what it looks like side by side here. So let me get you a shot here for that. Get that out of the way there. So here we go. There's your new auto choke assembly right there for that. And that's all it does. You just take it off. You just take the thing apart on here. You have 1 gasket on the top right here. Like I said before, that's the first one right here. and that one sits butt up against the block of the engine right there for that. So you put the first one on it butts up against the block of the engine, so the auto choke mechanism does not melt over time right there for that, because you don't want the thing to get damaged. That's why they have the 2 gaskets here to absorb the heat, or actually the actual radiant heat coming off the engine right there for that. And the second one goes behind the other portion. Then you have your I'm going to call plate right here. It's like a heat shield plate, and that's the third piece. So you have the sandwich as goes. It's got, you got 1 gasket, then you have the auto choke mechanism, then you have the other gasket on the back of the mechanism right here, then you have your plate, and you have your muffler. That's the configuration on this specific machine right here for that. So that's your auto choke system design right here with the actual banjo, the banjo arm on the top right here, guys. So that's how it's supposed to function. And we'll give you a shot of the engine tag right here as well too for reference points. This is a, let me get everything wiped off here for you. Here we go. Let me get a better angle here in the light. Sorry about that. There we go, right. There we go. There's your information tag, guys. It's a 12-8 MO2-0952-F1 2012 June. There's all your information for the machine right there for that. Let me zoom in here a little better. I want to focus. Sorry about that. Just to get a better shot here for you. There we go. Sorry about that. There you go. That's your information tag for the machine. That's the engine's model number, type, and code. So that's everything about the machine with the auto choke system that has a no start because of the auto choke design on here. Somebody obviously damaged the auto choke. I'm thinking somebody might have been messing with the machine before us over here, because whenever we were taking off all the parts and you know, bolting off the machine here, all the bolts were extremely loose on here. So somebody had been messing with the machine, and I'm thinking in a process of them taking the thing off, and they didn't know what they were doing, they possibly damaged the auto choke as it is right now, because it was definitely bent, as you see right here. Typically that only happens if somebody you know, this problem only happens typically if somebody puts the cover down here incorrectly onto the engine right here, your engine shroud cover right here, and they push it down like that, and the auto choke gets bent. This thing's only really, you know, really thin piece of metal right here for that. So you have to be extremely careful whenever you put it back together on the machine, because if you damage it, it will not function correctly, and the machine will not be able to function while you're cutting your grass out there for that. So anybody has any comments, questions about this right here, feel free to drop me a message, and I'll give you another shot of the part number here again as well too. So here's the Briggs auto choke assembly. There you go, thermostat. Let me zoom in here for you. 593208. That's your auto choke thermostat. And here's the part right here as well too. Here you go. And you get your instructions, and you get 2 gaskets here as well too. So there's your 1 gasket and your 2nd gasket. So 1, 2, 1 goes on the back, 1 goes on the front right here. So that's how you made them up. And as I told you before, you get to sandwich them between the muffler assembly here and your heat plate. You got 1 right here, then you have your auto choke, and you have the other one on the other side, then you have your plate, this big metal plate right here, and you have your muffler assemblies. That's muffler assemblies. That's how they're configured on this one specific application of machine. So anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot, feel free to leave me a message here. And this has been a quick video detailing the auto choke system on a Briggs & Stratton engine. I'll see you guys.